What is up, everyone? This is Sensei322 with BustingPacks.com doing a review of 2010 Donruss Elite. Took me a couple days to get this review going, but I want to make sure I watched enough box breaks on YouTube, saw enough of the product on Beckett forums to make a comprehensive review rather than just basing this on one box. So here we go, 2010 Elite. Some things that I liked about it. The base card design. You know, a lot of people get a little annoyed with too much foil. Some people love foil, but I thought the base card design was pretty simple, elegant, minimalistic, rather than some of the stuff we've seen from rookies and stars and different stuff like that that's just got like graffiti spray painted on left, right, and sideways. So I actually enjoy the base card design as well as the base rookie designs. Base parallels, these things are actually quite popular on the secondary market. You see a lot of these die cuts without even autographs that are selling for good amounts of, not even top players. So the die cut autographs, the aspirations, the status, the base parallels I like. I'll get to the other parallels in a little bit. Rookie photography is not bad at all. And so, you got some action shots, but considering how quick they got these to print, and I don't even know if they had to Photoshop those jerseys or if they took all these pictures at the rookie premiere, but they've got some good rookie photography. Die cut cards, already mentioned that in the serial numbered parallels or base card parallels, but the die cuts are neat, and this year they actually kept away from doing it so much with the jagged edges that made it really tough to grade them in previous years, so they kind of rounded off the edges. I don't know if that's going to grade better or grade worse with BGS, but that's still to be determined, I guess. And that's, of course, the Tim Tebow that, holy cow, the die-cut autographs are just ridiculous. The on-card auto set, that was really neat for them to throw in there. I thought this product was going to be strictly sticker autographs, which I'm not a big fan of, but they did a whole set at the rookie premiere with on-card autographs of, I think, the top 35 players that showed up and participated in the rookie premiere. So those are really nice, and I'm a little weirded out by the whole faded look and how, even at the top resolution you can't really see the players' faces too well, but the fact that they threw in some on-card autographs I think is awesome and admirable. Happy about that. Thanks, Elite. On the bad side, sticker autos. I'm just always a little bit against sticker autos. I know it's a necessity. I know we have to have them, but they're just not as collectible to me. Again, take everything I say with a grain of salt. Some of you might love sticker autos. I'm not a fan. That being said, these are about as nice as sticker autos as I've seen. And so this is a real minor complaint. I don't like sticker autos in general, but if you're going to have sticker autos, these are pretty sharp. And it looks like the pens they use to sign on them don't smudge at all. They've got some really clean autographs, and this year's rookie class has done a pretty decent job of keeping their autographs on card. We don't have any Percy Harvins scribbling off the sides, and no Chris Johnsons with their little CJ garbage. So this is a huge one. I can't stand the single-colored GUs. I've watched about 15, 16 box breaks online on YouTube, seen the contents of them, and I'd say 9 out of 10, maybe 8 out of 10 have single-colored GUs in them. And so these are a couple that I got. The Sproles is one that a friend on Beckett got. But, I mean, when that Sproles is considered a prime patch, that's just not cool. So I'm not a fan of single-colored GUs. Give me another auto. The case hit concept. Again, I mentioned this in one of my other reviews, but read The Fallacy of the Case Hit. It's in this Beckett Sports Card Monthly with Jason Hayward on it, and that'll give you a little more idea of why I dislike the case hit idea. Always have, but it pisses me off that, I'll buy a box knowing that somebody else already pulled a Tim Tebow autograph in another box, so just a little bit frustrating. I'd rather not have that. And so much foil. That bothers some people. In the base design, actually, this year, I don't mind it. But with all these different parallels, it got a little bit to me. Again, just my opinion. All right, the box discrepancy is a big one that I just don't understand. On a top-notch product, on a really high-end product like Exquisite, National Treasures, or even SP Authentic, it's understood that you could have a huge discrepancy between boxes. One person can hit a Mark Sanchez patch auto worth $800, another person will get the Tyson Jackson single color that's worth 30. And so, I mean, the huge discrepancy on high end is expected. It's really high risk, high reward. You don't expect that so much in a mid-range product, or some consider a low-end product, Donruss Elite. I consider it more in the middle. I actually like this product. But the discrepancy has been huge. I've seen some boxes where the people will get a Sam Bradford and Ndamukong Suh cards in the same box, autographs. You guys from Beckett know what I'm talking about. 2 of you actually bought boxes and got Sam Bradford parallel autos, low serial numbered, and Ndamukong Suh autos. Several people that are getting the case hits are finding loaded boxes, and you're getting a lot of boxes that have absolutely nothing in them, that you couldn't sell the whole box for more than $25, $30, and you know, when you're paying $130 for it, that's a huge discrepancy, even if you're in it just for the collecting, not for the investment. Other thing, so many parallels. I mean, there's just foil on every single card. There's gold cards. There's just 10 million different types of parallels, each one serial numbered. And I'm like, I mean, at some point, the serial number just becomes, you know, completely irrelevant and unnecessary, because I really don't care. But it's just so many parallels that it kind of weirded me out. And one thing that I was curious about was there's a lot of players that were traded back in February or March, and they're still in their former team's uniform. So that's a minor complaint, but it's, you know, when they got it printed, they're traded in March. And I know that these, heck, if they've got Tim Tebow in a Broncos jersey, they could have found one of the other players in their jersey. Although, now that I think about it, the other players don't go to rookie premieres, so I don't know. I assume they could have photoshopped the 5 or 6 players in. Maybe I'm out of line on that. Maybe that's not possible. All right, so my total review, I think the cards are sharp looking. I think the edges are actually literally sharp, but I think they're good looking cards. For sticker autos, they couldn't be much better. The die cut cards, although my box sucked, I got 1 die cut of Jamal Charles, but in general, I think they do add value to the box. Some of those are worth more than the autographs you pull. Only 2 autographs. The box says minimum 1. Most boxes, in fact, I think every box I've seen has had 2 autographs, but $130 for a box to get 2 mid-range autos, you know, with a 1 in 12 shot of getting a top draft pick, you know, that's kind of tough for me to buy. Especially, I mean, you've got Portrait Edition, Press Pass, and things like that with 7 autographs. I think, you know, give me 3 to 4 autos in a box. But something like this is just, I don't know, maybe it costs them a lot more to make the foil cards. Hit or miss. The boxes are really hit or miss. I think we saw, and here's some of the box odds that I scribbled down. Out of 16 boxes, I just averaged everything out. But I guess if we consider a case, I'm not sure if a case is 10 or 12, but out of 10 boxes, I averaged it out. And 1 box is spectacular, you know, the case hit box usually. Another box is really, really good, because you'll get some on-card autos and some good draft picks. So you got 2 boxes that are really good. Even those 2 boxes, you'll have a tough time making your money back unless you hit one of the top autos. Tebow, Colt McCoy, Sam Bradford, and Ndamukong Suh, or a parallel of their cards. So 2 really good boxes out of 10. 3 or 4 that are mid-range, that are nice. You're not going to be too upset. You're going to get some decent cards, some decent autos. You're going to have fun busting open the 20 packs per box. So that's about 6 out of 10 that you actually wouldn't be horribly upset about. You'd be either elated or you'd be really excited and have a good time opening the box. But then you got 4 out of the 10 that are just miserable. And, you know, you open every pack and you're just wondering, could this get any worse, or could this get any better? You know, but it's not going to get any better, and yes, it certainly can get worse. So you got about 4 out of a 10 shot of getting a really crappy box, and a 6 out of 10 shot of being genuinely pleased. And you might not make your money out of a box, but when do we make our money on a box? I haven't pulled any Mark Sanchez, Matt Stafford autos, so I don't think I've ever made my money off of a box, but you enjoy it. So you got about a 60% shot. I don't think this is a miss. I think picking up a box of this isn't a bad idea. It's a fun break, and if nothing else, you got a lot of cards that you could use as trade bait. I'm only sticking to 1 box, and I've also bought some loose packs because 2 autos per box just doesn't cut it for me. I'm gonna wait for Sweet Spot and a couple other products, but overall, enjoyable box to break, and I hope you guys enjoyed the review as much as I did making it.